Okay, guys, we are live! So for those listening at home, welcome to the Dungeon Musings YouTube channel. My name is Kevin Madison, and I'll be your friendly, what am I going to be? I'm going to be your friendly game master, I guess? Wrath Master? I don't know. But tonight, we were going to be carrying on with our ongoing Rogue Trader campaign this evening, but unfortunately we have two players who were unable to make it this week because of other commitments. So we decided to make use of our time and return to an adventure we started 2 months ago using the Cubicle 7, well, originally by Ulysses Spiele and then published by Cubicle 7, and that is Warhammer 40K Wrath and Glory RPG. And with me today to continue on as two other members of the Aquari household are the stars of tonight's session. I'll go the order I've got you guys on the screen here. Why don't you tell us who you are and who you're playing tonight? Now, first up, we've got James.
All right, I am James, and from memory, I am Desura, the Sanctioned Psyker, who you'll see has a strange lag to her.
Nice. I also just realized I noted, I labeled the session part 1. I will change that as soon as we're done the stream, being part 2. I cut and pasted. I have been nothing but stupid today, so we'll see how this session goes. And joining him, returning once again to play yet another illustrious member of the Aquari household, is Jeffrey.
Mm-hmm. Hey everybody, I'm Jeff, and I'm going to be playing Ignatius Aquare.
Very nice.
I don't really know a lot about his character too much, but
yeah, so we played this last time about 2 months ago, a little more than 2 months ago. It was before, at the time of recording, we are in the middle of February, but we played this before the holidays while we were playing a whole bunch of other games, and then before we took a break, and then we've had the whole New Year's rush once again. So it has been a while for this. From what Jeff had said before, he does not remember much of what happened last time. What do you remember from last time? James has just completed a move, so I'm sure he has nothing but clutter in his mind as well.
I have this, we got ambushed in a in a market.
Yep.
Then we realized we had to go off and find out the source of this, and I forget, we managed to talk our way into, was it a merchant's house? And we were trying to interrogate it, trying to find out from him.
Yeah.
But I've clearly gone off the rails. So.
No. So here's what happened last time, is we picked up with you guys who are not lesser necessarily, but more stay-at-home and supportive types of the same Aquari household that is featured in our regular Rogue Trader campaign. Our adventure took place on to call it a planet is probably not right, but the system of Footfall, the first kind of stopping point when someone comes into the Coronis Expanse itself. We went through with a little bit of setting the stage, as it were, talking about where what you found as your location. We rolled out some dice with that, and then one of you rolled a complication on one of those initial rolls to help establish the Aquari household actually in the Coronis Expanse beyond the Mortis Probati, the ship that you guys play as the crew on in our regular campaign, and that complication led to an ambush. There was something else that was going on, but the ambush by a pack of ne'er-do-wells was thwarted by both of you, because you guys are very scary, to the point where half of your attackers, or a quarter of your attackers, you slaughtered a quarter of them immediately surrendered, and then the remaining half ran away. And you guys found that they were hired by someone, but you did not know who. We spent part of the session with you guys going around and making contacts. You met someone, a fixer, who goes by the name of Rook, an information broker. And through him, you were able to find that there was someone, a troubleshooter, who is known as Vendrigoth, who was apparently responsible for this action against you, although he still didn't know whether it was a bona fide attempt to kill you, whether it was a warning, or whether it was some way of testing your capabilities.
Right. This sounds a little more familiar now.
You also found that Rook, or at least you seem to take Rook as being a particularly helpful contact, because you actually made a point of kind of leaving a Quare household's kind of item or gift with him too. He seemed to recognize that, placing it squarely in his pocket. You then, the way you're thinking of ambushing is you track down through some work, or with the assistance of Rook, where Vendergoth might be, and you found him at a like a upscale restaurant, kind of the Gothic 40K equivalent of kind of a posh New York restaurant. And Ignatius, you were the one who was interrogating him, while Desura were using her impressive mental powers or psyker's powers to strip his mind bare and reveal who he was actually employed by, because he was not revealing it to you. And I think it was, I want to say Bath Shet. I didn't write down the other houses. Ben Seth. There it is.
Ben Seth. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Got it early in the thing. Earlier in the chat. House Ben Seth is another Rogue Trader house that has not been hostile towards House of Quare as of yet, but it seems that they are not pleased with you coming here. You communicated that information to Ignatius telepathically, and then Ignatius, you used some of that careful information to shake Vendrigoff's confidence. You guys then spent some time, I can't remember what it is that you did, Ignatius, but I know that Desura decided to try and track down a friendly member of a third party royal or Rogue Trader house. Not Wayreth, but it's something like that. I'm trying to remember. Let's see. Oh, we've got a lot of stuff in here. Well, that's all the chat entries. Never mind. Yeah, Turvin Ben Seth, I think, is the person who was working against you. And let me see if I can jog my memory here. But do you remember contacting a fellow psychic, Desura, and just kind of saying like, hey, I'm here? It wasn't a way of like trying to blackmail them or anything like that. It was...
Oh, yes, I was just...
it was which?
Making a connection.
Correct, yeah.
Making a connection, sort of.
Let's see here. I'm just going to see if he... I'm fairly certain we were improvising that whole last session, so I'm fairly certain I looked up Rogue Trader house names and picked one. So let's see if it rings a bell when I do the exact same thing once again. And we'll move my phone away from the mic. Sometimes just going on instinct with these things is good enough. All right. Boy, there's a lot of stuff in here. Here we go. Okay. Oh, there's the ships. It was... Trask? Does that ring a bell?
Sounds familiar.
Let's see here. I think that's what I heard when I listened to the session today too. Trask, and it's in there. Look at that. Hell yeah. A close second. I should say, for those listening at home, we talked about this before we got started today, that normally when we run one-shots, I religiously keep the notes from everything because you never know when you're going to go back to it. I have no earthly idea what happened to my prep notes or the session notes for this one. They've gone somewhere. Perhaps it's thematic that they were lost in the warp. So they were. But yeah, House Trask is who you contacted. The other thing was you met with a member of the ecclesiarchy too. And this one may stand out because it was a area where Factotum Ignatius, you weren't quite as successful as you had been at some other things. Do you remember meeting with someone who wanted to thank your Lord Captain Aquare?
What are they called? The missionaries, right?
Yes, they were the missionaries. Some of the missionaries that you guys had saved in the main campaign.
Oh, yeah.
There was one of those was a very important ecclesiarchal alchemist who worked at this Hephaestion's Rest, I believe it was called. It is a Hephaestion's Rest. There we go. Look at that. Tired I may be, but it's all still up there to a degree. They also, I did listen to the fucking game today, so it's really not that hard for me to remember, I guess. What they do there is at Hephaestion's Rest, there is a place that has a monastery that has a what do you call it, vow of silence in there, but that's in part because what they produce is a very specific kind of tarot that incorporates an infinitesimally small bit of the Emperor's grace within them, so very potent psychic or focuses that can be used for psychers, and very favored for those who are strong in their devotion and their belief to the Emperor. Of course, everyone is strongly devoted to the Emperor of mankind, but some who are truly to their core will really favor these things. And one of those master alchemists was almost killed by pirates. Thankfully, you guys succeeded in saving them, your main characters, and as a result they wish to recognize your dynasty with a gift. It is a thigh bone of a saint, the thigh bone of Saint Hephaestion. Now let's give you guys a moment to recover from that incredible turn of good luck. It seemed that based on some unfortunate rolls, Ignatius was not particularly thrilled with the prospect of having to go to this place and have it presented to him by a room full of people who won't talk. But in spite of that, they still welcomed your attendance because of the remote nature, while the rest of the footfall system is, as you see in this illustration, mostly chained together and held together in this patchwork of meteorites and stationary comets. This place is located on its own, closer to the orbit of one of the other larger bodies in this system. And there is a captain who goes by the name of Karanya, who is the only one who attends the monastery because they really do not have a lot of need for folks coming and going. But Captain Karanya,
that's who's going to take us there.
He will be taking you there in his vessel, so you guys might meet with a member, Brother Darius, and then be awarded with this great honor of a piece of a cadaver.
Right. So we have to travel to this Hephaestion's Rest to get it?
Yeah. You will travel.
And it's the thigh bone of Saint who?
Hephaestion.
Oh, himself. Oh,
Yep.
Okay.
Now it seems like a big deal, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, no.
This ain't just.
I remember how poorly all of my social stuff was going there.
Yes.
Prelate or whoever they sent. I'm like an underworld guy. I am not a thigh bone guy.
Mm-hmm.
They got the wrong guy, but I'm gonna do it because it's for the Aquare family, and so you do what you got to do.
Mm-hmm.
But
is there anything else? Oh, and there is something we need to do. At the start of every session of Wrath and Glory, we will set your, not motivation, and it's not your goal, it's something else that I don't remember offhand. It is your, let's see here. I just flipped to the page Repent. So, let's see here. It is... where is it here? I'll look in the sheet. For those listening at home, my apologies that we did not... I did not have this ready beforehand. I just remembered now. Because I remember right into the end of the game, you achieved your goal, Jeff, and you got an extra point of wrath for it. It's also a neat part of the mechanic that setting specific goals for each session. It's kind of cool. Okay, let's take a look here. That's role-playing encounters. That's NPCs. Nope. How about advancements? Game Master section? Maybe? Nope. Where the heck is it? I will tell you as well that I really resisted the temptation, now that the Eldar book is out, to completely rewrite the adventure just so you guys would have to deal with a bunch of Harlequins. So, I hope you appreciate my restraint. Let's see.
We appreciate it. We're surprised, but we appreciate it.
Yeah, really? Okay. That, I think it's fine. Objectives is what we're looking for. Got it. All right, so because I turned to it first, James, would you kindly give us a 1d6 roll, please? This will be your objective for the session. And Jeffrey, same thing too, please. I'll turn to the Rogue Trader as well.
Sorry, 1d6?
A 1d6, please. I think you can roll that directly from the character sheet if you like as well, if you really want to be fancy.
Oh.
I mean, no need to. There's not... a D6 is
well,
a
I'd like
D6.
to find where... is it my conviction?
No, on the top right is where they have all the different sheets. Oh, and I should say at home, for those listening at home as well, if you're playing on Roll20 like we are and you find issues with the character sheets, if you have previously loaded the API script, you just need to remove it and add it back in again. We had that issue today where the character sheets weren't working, removed it, put it back in, and now it's back working again. It's one of the reasons why we're starting a little late. And by a little late, I mean nearly 2 hours. Yeah, that worked perfectly. Both sixes. There we go. Okay,
we're ready.
Exalted icons from the get-go. So for James Desura, your objective is to appraise another individual for psychic potential.
Oh.
And you can interpret these in a pretty broad, if anyone has done debating as a kid, squirreling is what they call this, is where you take a prepped thing and you just take whatever the thing you're talking about is and you use it to talk about the thing you already prepped. So, and then for yours, use your warrant of trade to get your way or to refuse a request. And then you will get your objective. Objectives change for each session, so don't worry if you don't get it done this session. It just gives you a point of wrath back.
And sorry, what do I use for that?
You just need to. So the objective. Let me read it out for you. What the way they describe.
Oh, my warrant of trade. That's what it said.
Yeah, user. Oh, guys. Look at that.
Okay.
Hidden between the.
Oh, you found them.
I just found it.
Way.
As I was going through.
Come on.
I wisely put it between the last page and the ad. And I stuck it way the hell down there. That is, I went through all these books multiple times. Look at that, guys. Fucking great.
That is amazing.
And I've got down my references for what changes I made here, too. And I can tell you that Captain Coronia's ship is called the Naglfar. It is just an in-system shuttle, so it'll take you within system, but it gets you around in a zippy kind of way. You're not spending days waiting to reach there. So, anything? So the objective. That's what I was looking up. Man, that's great. I couldn't figure out why. Like it would be so unlike me. I'm such a pack rat when it comes to notes for campaigns and stuff. Objective. Here we go. Yeah, good stuff. Your objective is a role-playing prompt, something your character can say or do that is interesting or fun to role-play based on your faction. At the start of each session, you can roll an objective on the table of your faction. If you accomplish your objective during the session, you earn a wrath point. So it's not in like a core or necessary mechanic, just a fun way to add a little bit of extra, dynamism to each session. What we didn't look up before we got started because we kept chatting was glory. Your starting glory. 164. Here we go. Each party begins the session with 0 glory. You can always shift an exalted icon to add 1 glory to the pool. And I don't think I've got a handout. Wait, what do I have for handouts? I do have now the rules reference for you guys. Although, do the character sheets give you any information on what you can spend your glory on?
I don't think so.
Then just as a reminder, you can spend a 1-for-1 to increase your dice pool size. You can increase damage. You can increase the severity of a critical hit, or you can seize initiative. Initiative works the way it does in, a lot of the games we play, where you guys go, the 2D20 games, the Warhammer Fantasy 3rd Edition game, you go, then I get to go with someone unless you spend a point of glory to act again. You guys very effectively did that against the assassins who attacked you. All right, so then.
Right.
Where I would like to start our session is with you guys aboard the Naglfar and headed for Hephaestion's Rest. The last we saw your heroes, you guys had identified a foe who was hunting your house, and you identified a potential ally in the Coronis Expanse by way of another adversary. I will say as well, just for those... If you are looking for information about Footfall, Lure of the Expanse for Rogue Trader has a bunch of information about it in there. It actually has a little mini gazetteer that dramatically expands on what is in the core rulebook. So, what have you guys done? What's led us to this point in brief? If we need to do any flashback stuff, I'm happy to do that. But between when we last saw our heroes and with you en route to Hephaestion's Rest aboard this vessel, Naglfar, do either of you know what Naglfar is in Legendary?
I mean, Jeff doesn't.
Naglfar is the ship of the dead made of, I believe it's fingernails of the deceased in Norse myth. It will be what transports the dead into battle.
What? That's where this place is?
That is what the vessel that Captain Coronia is taking you on.
Oh, gross.
It is not made of them. It is named after that thing.
Yeah, yeah, but it doesn't mean if someone's gonna name their ship after that.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
and you are stuck for a time on this vessel.
I don't trust him.
Yep, fingernails and toenails of the dead. So,
Okay.
when you met Captain Coronia, he very much strikes you as, for one, there's two things that you see. You would be surprised if he is ever out of his kind of pilot's garb. It's got that kind of like, there's grease on it, there's food stains, there's whatever, where he seemingly just continually keeps transporting stuff back and forth. You then also can see that he has a ton of religious paraphernalia around him. And in the interest of getting dice rolling right away, so you might be able to get some points of glory in that pool there, why don't you each give us a fellowship insight check, please. Difficulty will be a 1, and then you guys will be able to spend successes to gain extra information, or perhaps to bank stuff if you need to shift stuff into the glory. So we'll talk about what the output of the roll is in a moment here. You'll have no bonus dice, and you can each roll for this.
Wait, so you just roll fellowship?
No, you're gonna roll insight, please.
Oh, it's called, okay, I got that backwards.
Yeah.
That's why it's insight using fellowship.
Correct.
Right, got it.
Yeah.
I
think this isn't one of the games where we'll be swapping different skills out different times. Holy hell!
Wow.
So that's 2 exalted icons and 4 icons. So that means you can ask 3 questions of me, and over the course of your trip, and you have 2 shifts you could do. So you could ask 7 questions of me technically if you want to count them all as successes. We could also shift the 2 of those into the glory pool if you choose. And we have a complication from
Yay!
Desura. So unfortunately, Desura, you will have to spend that exalted icon to get your 1 success you got, and there is a complication going on. So let's talk about what you guys have done beforehand, and maybe that'll give us an opportunity to see what has gone wrong, and that'll give you time to think as well, Jeff, of anything you wish to ask. Or Captain.
And the questions are about the trip?
Anything you like. Yeah,
anything.
Yeah, anything you like. You got a whole bunch of time with this guy. This is the opportunities to sort of pick up what is going on and what you can learn about this place as you go in. For someone who seems to be the only contact that a silent order is relying on, he is an extraordinarily chatty Cathy. So he's just, chatty. You get the sense that he probably doesn't spend a lot of time with other folks. It definitely seems unusual to be transporting anyone for, as opposed to just bringing supplies or other silent monks out there. So first, is there anything else you guys would have wanted to set in motion on Footfall itself before you took the trip out to Hephaestion's Rest? Oh, you also had a dream too, shit. This is before we had a reveal in the main campaign. But Desura, you identified someone. A Xenos Psyker, a member of the secretive and incredibly badass Eldar race.
You see, what I meant about the surprise is there it is. Claims of the GM. I didn't drag in the Eldar in any way, shape, or form, and then Oh, I forgot.
I will tell you, there's two things that have happened that would, for the way the coincidence came out, might seem coincidental. Cubicle 7 just happens to be they're predicting even what I would like best, because I had that. We've talked about how incorporating Eldar into games, and then they announced, I think just after Christmas or just before Christmas, that they released this fucking Eldar book that we did not know was coming, which was amazing. And they had that amazing orc book that came out last week, I think, or the week before, for Warhammer Fantasy 4. So something I would have been asking for, with lots of templates and whatever else to play with. So Cubicle 7 has a chip in my brain, but fucking keep it going. I love the stuff I'm getting to see. But anyway, so that was the other thing you had. So what did you guys do before you set out, if anything?
Well, I think we had talked and decided that we couldn't deal with House Beneseth before we left.
Yep.
We were forced to just sort of go on this mission without having dealt with that. So I don't know if there's any prep we need to do.
Okay.
I don't know. What do you think, Desura?
No, I think that's head
Do
off.
our duty.
Let's get on with it. Do our duty.
Yeah.
Okay. So then, turning to your results, Desura, you technically can ask one question of me too. You cannot shift that exalted icon, but you did get 2 successes, because each one counts as 2. And for those listening at home, if you're looking at the readout, just so you understand what we're seeing here, the total is the total number of successes, including icons and exalted icons, which are just an icon is a roll of 4 or 5 on a d6. An exalted icon is a roll of 6. The red dice is the one different colored dice that you roll. It is the Wrath dice. And if it comes up a 1, the Star of Chaos, then something interesting happens. A complication ensues. Yes. Independent of whether you succeeded or failed. So, reminder as well, you can choose to spend a point of Wrath and re-roll all the things that have not been icons or exalted icons, but you cannot re-roll a 1. If you roll a 1 on it, it stays. You might get more successes. So, what about you, Ignatius? Or either of you, I should say. Have you any questions for Captain Caronia?
Yeah, I do.
Hmm?
He was sort of worded on, like, on a scale of 1 to 10, how strange is this for outsiders like ourselves, and like really indicating to himself, like, clearly I am not like missionary people or religious. Like, how strange is this that they've invited us out there? On a scale of 1 to 10.
He kind of turns around. He's got the autopilot, or the whatever is the machine spirit in his craft, are directing you towards this blessed destination. So he's able to turn his seat around and talk to you. And he says, I did not know that it was at their request. You got invited out by them.
Yeah.
That's
strange, right?
It's very strange. That's very strange. I'm not sure I've ever heard of that happening. Are you... He looks over.
That's what I was afraid of.
Afraid? It's a great honor.
Yeah. Not only that, they want to give me some kind of a bone. Yeah.
He kind of looks you up and down. They want to replace a bone?
Some bone, their great treasure.
Wait.
The thigh bone of...
A relic?
Yes.
You must be greatly favored by...
A relic, no less.
By... Which no less? Sorry, Desura, we missed what you said there.
Did loose, James?
No, I was just me lagging. I was just agreeing.
Agree. Okay. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, a relic. You must have done something extraordinary for the monastery, or be greatly favored by the emperor himself. Praise be his name. And you see he touches about 3 different religious things on his accoutrements.
Well, it's actually my cousin who is honored by the missionaries. We are simply messengers and carriers. Is there a special term for someone who carries bones around?
I can think of a number of different names for it, but the one they probably like would be probably caretaker or keeper.
Yes. Well,
I've never heard of them ever giving anything away like this.
I shall be the temporary keeper of the thigh bone.
That is a great honor. A great honor.
Okay. Should I have brought some kind of a fancy outfit? I'm just wearing like my normal clothes.
He looks up and down. You show your station of your house, I suppose. What more could be asked?
Yeah, okay. Perfect then. I will take that as good enough.
Good. Have you any other questions? Or any other topics of conversation? It's probably, I said like a couple of hours, but probably, not that I think of it, it probably does take longer because it's the 40K universe. You're not warping there, you're moving in system, so it probably does take a while.
Oh, right. Yeah, their ships aren't like blazing fast.
Yeah.
Could you explain the name of your ship?
Well, there is an ancient myth that is favored by those. I'm partial to the stories of the space wolves. Do you know who the space wolves are?
No, tell us, please.
The most glorious chapter of the Emperor's Angels, the Adeptus Astartes themselves, and the Space Wolves are incarnations of the favored of old Earth gods themselves. And Naglfar is the ship where their dead are transported. The glorious dead. I like the sound of that. And, while not serving that glorious order, it still seemed appropriate. There are times when even the most devoted monks will die, and I'll be transporting their remains back as well. While not the glory of the space wolves, still a way of honoring those who shuttle back and forth. In a way, your relic will be transporting those honored dead too.
Yes, I suppose.
Any other questions for him?
I think that's it for him.
Okay.
Or at least for me. I don't know. What about you, Tessara? Anything you would like to know from our...
May as well ask. Is there anybody other than monks on the world?
None.
Do you know?
None. Each of the monastery itself has been prepared as if it was on a living world, connected by different shafts, and atmospheric seals. A wonder of the machine god itself, in glory to the Emperor himself. But none other than the silent workers. Any other questions of Captain
You're not going to get
Corona?
much chat then, Ignatius.
You still have a minimum, Ignatius, of one more question, and then you also could shift those 2 exalted icons. I mean, technically you have 6 more questions, but you could shift those 2 exalted icons into glory, if you like.
Yeah. Let's get some glory built up.
Okay, and you have one more question then. Anything else you wish to build? And it doesn't even necessarily need to be a question. You could like be trying to observe things or whatnot as well. I went with insight because I wanted to see what you guys were picking up from kind of context clues as opposed to necessarily interrogating the guy.
Right. Okay, well then, like, my last thing would just be, like, my character's, like, normal thing. He's going to be trying to assess the danger, you know, from this guy, the amount of danger this guy is encountering, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah, so if you ask him, what he'll tell you is that, I mean, it is a dangerous area, but while the Corona's Expanse can be full of all sorts of dangers, not the least of which is, you know, elven pirates, or Eldar, forgive me, Eldar pirates, or, you know, all the other kind of terrors of the Corona's Expanse, most of them don't come to footfall because anyone preying on people in this system will have far too many people who are interested in stability here. Not stability within footfall, mind you, but the fact that so many people are coming and going through the maw, this serves as a very helpful meeting place for folks within the Cronus Expanse, or, you know, coming and going from them. For pirates to be active here, it would piss everybody off, and no one wants to be the person who has pissed everybody off.
Right. Okay.
So, no, it's one of the reasons there's no weapons on my ship, he says.
I'll tuck my weapon away.
Oh, what he means...
Did I bring one?
No,
like, the ship itself has no weapons.
The ship itself has no weapons. Yeah. He
Yeah.
allows... If you're going to bring whatever you're going to bring, right?
Yeah, I don't think I would go unarmed on a space journey.
Yeah. No. Then, unless there is anything else... then you can put, you may remember the way we're tracking your glory is just by, I mean, there's 2 different ways we could do this. We could do what we do in some of our other games, just put it in chat. Or we can use the icon, which I think, let's see here. Yep, you guys have control over it. And it's been the, what do you call it, the yellow dot we've been tracking for glory.
Okay, yellow dot. So I have 2 then, right?
Yeah.
There we go.
Perfect. So, as you guys are approaching the monastery itself, I guess first off, apart from questions, is there anything else you guys wish to do or discuss before you reach there? Oh, sorry, it's actually not per character, it's on the overall, the little...
Oh, yeah, right.
The Keela, yeah. Glory is a shared pool that all of you guys can draw from.
No. Oh, now I've done it.
Control Z. It'll bring you back.
Control Z. Was it really?
Yeah, should.
No.
Uh-oh.
I destroyed myself. Maybe you.
I can bring...
I was just trying to delete the 2 off my character. Delete key is not the correct key.
Okay, let's see here.
Amazing.
It's been a long week for everybody.
Oh,
there you go. You're back. You're back. Right. right, let me make sure you didn't lose. Yep, you got access still. Okay.
Yeah, that's good. Okay.
All right, so anything you guys wish to communicate, and as a reminder, Disorder can quite easily establish a telepathic link between the two of you if you choose to not communicate with one another, or out loud at least.
Yeah, maybe. What do you think, Desura? Might be best not to speak every thought that I have out loud here on this place of silence.
Indeed. Or is there anything you want to discuss? Or let's see. I'll just roll another complication. Let me see. Tap me on the arm if you want to discuss that.
Okay. Yeah, you guys have. We established last time that you guys have worked together before this most recent thing, so you guys have probably a shorthand for Desura being both advisor and bodyguard. Then, as it is probably a day or two of travel, you're maybe getting caught up in some information and some bookkeeping, Captain Ignatius, as you are making your way there. And when you finally arrive, what you see is it drifts around one of the other worlds in the system that is basically, I mean, it is a rock. It's not a gas giant, but it is surrounded with a absolutely poisonous atmosphere, corrosive, high pressure. Think of Venus, basically, like that, a place where no one would really want to spend time, and no one has bothered to try and establish a foothold. But there is the monastery itself, Hephaestium's Rest, and it is, as promised, it's basically like a chunk of rock like you see in Footfall itself that has been transported to elsewhere in the system and kept well and truly away from anyone else. You can see Captain Coronia makes his contact with the people in the monastery, and there is no response. It's the first time, Ignatius, at least if you have any experience on a ship, where you don't hear anything from flight control.
Right.
There is just information that is
presented. Yeah, because it's a silent planet.
Yeah. It seems to be, if you ask about that, it is automated. And Captain Coronia brings the Naglfar down and lands it. The monastery itself, for all intents and purposes, looks very much like a high Gothic kind of medieval style monastery, complete with the all the Gothic and death accented motifs that we always see in ecclesiarchal material in the 40K universe. But somehow on this lifeless small chunk of rock hanging in orbit around a poisonous and corrosive planet. Where you'll be entering is a hangar deck, and what Captain Coronia says is, that's curious.
What's that, Captain?
I thought I saw... Well... just too long. When you're used to having the run of the ship to yourself, it can be a little distracting when someone else is here.
Fair.
I will tell you, with your successes, he definitely seems like something was unusual there.
Right, and he's just kind of being coy.
Yeah. If you guys are not...
Yeah. I don't know what I would do. It's, I think that he would say, okay, I would say something actually, now that I think about it. He would look at him and he would say, Captain, as we spoke on the journey here, this is a very odd circumstance for one such as us to be given something so precious. And I do have concerns of foul play or danger could be afoot. So if you did see something strange, please let myself or Desura know, as we are experts at discerning the level of danger in such things.
Well, it's just that, well, I could have sworn I saw something. The lights are here. Maybe they're having some kind of issue with the mechanism. This is a very distant place, and the Mechanicus rarely are out here. But I thought I saw something with a pattern of light in the solarium. It was flickering inside the room in a funny way. And you guys can each give us an awareness check. This will be at a difficulty of 6, so it's a pretty hard roll. I don't know if awareness is either of your strengths, but I will remind you can spend glory to gain extra dice to roll.
Oh.
If you choose.
Oh, interesting.
There may also be reasons why you
so how
wish
does
to
that
keep
work? No, yeah, let's save the glory. There could be... No.
Ooh, exalted icon roll. Yeah, unfortunately, that's not a success. I think you can only shift on successful rolls. Let me double check. Well, we see. Okay, so yeah, neither of those were, but no complications from either. You don't remember if there was flickering in the lights. He sort of points out where the solarium is. It's one of the tallest buildings or tallest parts of this overall structure. 165, 166. And you're seeing it, but the lights, you're not quite sure. You're not seeing whatever it is that he saw.
Right. Okay.
You can, you need a success. You can remove an exalted icon from results of a test, and there are still, if you can remove the exalted icon and there's still enough icons to meet the target number, you can shift that exalted icon. So you do need to actually succeed in the task before you can trigger that shifting. So, answer your question neither of you guys had, but only I did.
Yeah, answer my own question.
Exactly. It's
good,
really,
though.
really
You do
helpful
need
to
to know
smart
the
when you
answers to
both
those.
pose and answer the questions. So,
Yeah.
what? So yeah, you're looking at this thing, and you don't. Neither of you are seeing whatever.
Yeah.
Like, there's a flickering there, but I mean, there's a light kind of going off and on, but it's tough to tell whether it's indeed someone turning a light on and off, or whether it's just something is moving within there, or what. Like, who knows what is going on here?
Right. Right. It could be nothing.
He says, "Well, then I'll make two transporting, offloading my cargo here. You have an audience to make. You just need to go. I'll be mating the airlock. You can go right in. You follow the corridor down. It'll bring you into the grand entrance itself. Into the into the nave, and the chapel itself. They tend to meet folks in the most impressive parts. They might be... There should be somewhere there to meet you, in any event. I'll be here for when you're ready to leave. Good luck.
Thank you. Well, let's do this.
So as you guys...
Got a bad feeling on this.
Yeah, you and me both.
So as you guys are leaving and you're making your way down this gray corridor, it seems to wind its way towards the actual structure itself. What is going through your minds?
This is complete BS. What has my cousin got me into? I don't want to die on this planet.
And I don't like that the captain felt he saw something that's not we don't know what it is, but it doesn't feel good.
No, I did not like that the captain thought he saw something that is making me nervous. I was already a little nervous about this just because this is like so far outside of my comfort zone. But yeah, the fact that the captain, saw something he doesn't normally see out here is not sitting well.
Shall I try a little Psyniscience? See.
I think that would be prudent. It's not rude to reach out with your mind a little on a new planet, I don't think.
Yeah, I'm just going to detect if there are any traces of the warp.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see here. So, just going to check. Is there a power you're thinking of using?
Yep, Psyniscience.
Oh, Psyniscience. Okay, there we go. So, now
I've attempted to detect the presence of warp phenomena within range and line of sight, including sustained psychic powers being activated and so.
Very cool. Okay. Yeah, here we go. Divinatory. That's one of the default universal abilities, isn't it?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Psyniscience and Deny the Witch.
My first psychic power.
Yeah. Okay. So, oh, DN3. There we go. Yes. So go ahead whenever you're ready.
Yeah.
Nice. So 2 extra successes. I don't see anything special on here. So where is it you're just sensing your immediate vicinity?
Well, I guess I would have when the captain said that, I'd try and look to where he described and just see if there's anything.
Okay.
But I guess actually my range is... No, it's my vicinity. It's only 50 somethings. 50 meters?
50 meters, I think. Yeah, it was a British game, so... or European game, at least. I keep forgetting they relocated to... Are they in Northern Ireland or the Irish Republic? Like Ireland, right?
Ireland. Yeah,
okay.
in the Republic.
Okay. And were you conducting the test bound, unbound, or transcendent?
Bound. I'm not trying to blow myself up.
Okay.
It's a long shot just to see if there's anything obvious.
So here's the thing. When you activate that, let's see, does it tell you... What was the source of the font? Only the presence... Let's just see what you, whether it's just the presence of psychic power or whether it tells you anything about the. Ooh, okay. So I don't think it tells you anything about the specifics.
Just it's present.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is definitely in your immediate vicinity. There is a psychic power
God
that is manifested.
That sounds horrible.
And you are walking down. You can see out the there's intermittent portholes as you're making your way along, seemingly positioned so as to give a view of the grandeur of the monastery. And you see once again there is that flashing light somewhere out there, but again, like, is it sure there's a pattern to it or not? Because there are flashing lights in a couple other places now that you're down here. And let's move over. Bring your... here we go. Your glory with you.
Yeah, please bring our glory with us.
And I'll shift ping you guys. Oh, you may not need to.
Oh, there we go, yeah.
So here's where you go. You can. I'm not going to list it out, but there is behind you a significant stretch of corridor that you've been going down. On either side is where you're seeing those portholes. And okay, let me grab something here. I'm sure me looking something up, it's not anything portentous, guys. No need to panic. All is fine. Here we go. So, as you're making your way down here, you're having to go up a series of stairs. In spite of this being a service corridor, it seems like it has been designed in order to really emphasize the grandeur of this place. There's a series of sweeping steps. So you're making your way up as you're making your way to the monastery itself. And you see a pair of robed figures just ahead. And let me see if I can find who are making their way towards you. Perhaps not a surprise that it's doing so. You were expecting someone to be heading there. Where's this? Let me see if I've got a token for this. I do not. Hey guys, but I do have a robed gnoll. I'll bookmark that for Night Below. Hello.
Genos, kill it.
So there are two figures that are making their way down. I'm just going to put... Let's see here. Do I have... something? There we go. Sorry. I had it pulled up, and then I looked at something else, and I fell behind. Where are we here? Let's see. You know, I'll just use... Oh yeah, here guys. I've got a... Jeez. Because we set this up last year, I forgot I had some images ready for you. If you want to see the monastery. It's not quite for it, but... Hephaestion's Rest. Here you go, guys. Take a look at this.
Oh, sweet. Oh, yeah.
And I'll put them right. Ooh, there we go. Why is this not working with me? Come on, you. Ooh. There we go. So there are two robed figures making their way down. You could just see one walking along here, and they do seem to be walking together. They seem, maybe this is just the way the monks typically operate, but they do seem to be consciously hiding their features. Would you each give us an awareness check, please? And this will be against a difficulty of 4.
Ooh, yuck.
Okay. Fortunately, your bodyguard is quite keen. So, Desura, as you're making your way down the corridor, you're getting to these stairs. You can see the two road figures standing there at the top of yet another set of stairs, seemingly picking a place in this corridor where they will be visible, in the sense of you will be able to see that there is someone there, but they are so well shrouded by the shadows cast by the main lighting in this corridor, for what can be said, is effectively what you would think is emergency lighting, where there's like lights that run along the length of the ground in a long strip. There are other lights in here, but they do not seem to be functioning, or they do not seem to be activated. These two have picked a place where they seem to be trying to be both seen and yet to conceal things. Fortunately, your suspicious nature and your... Oh, did you spend a wrath?
No.
No? Okay. Oh, that 5 was your Sinetians. Forgive me, I was looking at the 5.
That was my Sinetians.
Yeah,
sorry,
okay.
Yeah, we see nothing.
So you see nothing.
I always see nothing.
I mean, you've also got your Sinetians is, I think, probably has you tweaked to be paranoid, right?
Oh, yeah.
What would you guys like to do?
I mean, we are paranoid.
Yeah.
Fair. That's the state of mind we have arrived with.
I think
Approach with caution?
Yes, walk.
I mean...
I unclick the little tab above my las pistol that's on its holster, just to make sure it's
Okay.
ready to hand.
Yeah.
Okay.
We can see them, and they are armed.
No, you actually can't see their arms whatsoever. They're shrouded in what seem to be...
Oh, okay. It's not like the picture. That's all. Yeah.
Yeah. No. I decided I didn't want to lose what I need just to find...
Yeah. No, that's fair. I'm just clarifying. Yeah.
Their hell guns are hidden under their robes.
It would seem strange to invite us here just to kill us. But
So, hail, fellows.
Okay. You hail. There's no response, but I'm not sure what you would have expected from a silent order anyway. You get up to around here, and they remain hidden there. The doors to the chapel are ornate and gorgeous, but closed. And it's just as you're about to take a step up the stairs when a shockwave hits the corridor. And you roll slightly better, Ignatius. I keep wanting to say Captain Aquarius. Just the year and a half of trained reflexes when I see that name. You look out the window, and there is a very vastly dissipating ball of fire where the Naglfar once was.
oh, great. Just great.
And you can see that your two monks are casting aside their robes and seemingly weapons are coming out. Now, as a reminder, the way that initiative works, you guys get to go first. One of you gets to go, then I get to go, unless you are spending a point of glory to keep initiative. Now, let me bring... I said I was going to do it, and I never did it, but let me bring your glory tracker over here. Your Aquila. Which of you would like to go first? Yeah, I'll shrink this down a scooch.
Well, you said you had your hand on your gun, so...
Yeah, so let me... I would look at my powers, but I think I'm just going to... In the circumstance, I will be more...
Okay.
I'll just whip out my last pistol.
Okay. They are 8 squares away. What's the range of your last pistol?
6.
6. Okay.
Badly.
So it puts it in short range or long range, or... Let's see here. Do I have the weapons on?
No idea. I guess... it can't be... I'm guessing that 6 is short.
Yeah, let me take a look here. It's... Okay, I'll set my screen aside for a moment. Set this aside for a moment. Whoops. Here we go. It's really a session when I've got 3 books laying open at different stages and the GM screen. All right. So, your... There you go. Combat. Let's take a look. Your combat action is to make an attack with a skill. You also have a ranged options like aiming. If you don't move, you can get +1 bonus dice to your range attack test. And
Thanks. I'll...
range, let's see here. Yeah, and your speed tells you how many squares you can move. And here we go. Ranged attacks. Yeah, if you're short range, I think will be your first one. At short range, you get +1 to your ballistic skill test. If they're beyond the medium range, it's +2 to the defense when you make a range test, and your target number is going to be their defense. So it's a 3.
Right, so I'm guessing that, so by 6. So if my range is 6, that's my short range.
So yeah, I think that's what it is. Yeah, I'll quickly look up. Does it not have it listed in the?
It just says range 6.
It just says range 6. Okay, I'm not sure if that's the character sheet or if it's just the function of the game. And so you have a bolt pistol. Is it last pistol?
It's a last pistol.
Yeah, 6. Oh, yeah. So it's multipliers. 6. So your short range is whatever is listed there.
6 is short,
medium range is twice
is
that.
Medium.
Yeah, long range is 3 times that for all of the weapons. That's pretty easy to remember.
Okay, so this is medium.
So medium range, so no modifiers, but if you don't move, you can get +1 to hit, +1 bonus dice.
I will +1 to hit that then.
Okay.
So I'm going to crouch and aim and let fly.
You got it. Okay, that is...
That's funny.
Let's see here.
Base DR. All right, that's...
E, okay. That is a total of 3. Yeah, so that's just what you need to hit. And the one of the exalted icon comes from your wrath dice, which means +1 glory.
It's a critical. All right. Now,
Yeah.
is that a critical hit?
It's a critical hit too.
Awesome.
Okay, so then go ahead and roll damage. I'm just trying to remember how. I'm going to put the bars down for you guys so you can track your progress. Remember, the shock is the blue bar. Oh, these are not set right. But easy to fix. Madison, you had time to prep. What's going on here? Jeepers. You guys can see the bar, but not the number on those. I'm hoping. Yeah, okay. So that is 7 points of damage. And remember, you can spend glory to add extra damage if you choose as well. They have a resilience. Oh, man. They have a resilience of 7. So, but what you do, though, is you scorch through the robes and allow me to show you what lurks beneath. Because it staggers back, reeling out with 1, 2, 3 limbs.
What?
This is what is there.
Oh my god.
It seems as well that their armor has well and truly protected them. Now I need not conceal their identities. All that effort I did to put the tokens down, I can use them in their full glorious state. Unfortunately, that did not pierce their armor, which means you have ruined their disguise, but have not otherwise done anything to meaningfully affect them. Oh, but you got a critical hit, though.
Yep.
So, let's hear. Oh, call shots in this, guys, are very easy. You get to roll an extra dice for every... What is it? Oh, you get extra damage hit for every extra point you put into their defenses. So if you want to do more damage, you can say add 3 of their defenses, which is your target number you're rolling against. You get to roll 3 extra damage dice when you hit. I assume you're going to hit. All right, and critical hits. What'd you give us? There we go. If you roll a critical hit, but your damage does not exceed the target's resilience, you still inflict the effects of a critical hit. This is truly a Warhammer game. Give us a D6-6 roll, please, Desura. Let's see what effect. I think there is a button for D6s. The top right of the first page. Okay, 25. Ferocious rending. The attack shreds the opponent's flesh to ribbons, leaving them open to attack. Would you give us a 1d3 roll, please? Ooh. And you can spend glory on this to gain +1 wound for every glory you spend. So it's 1 wound, so it's going right through to their wounds, and they are vulnerable to... Vulnerable 2 is... Let's see here. -1 to the defenses. Lasts until the end of turn. So you've hit him and well and truly knocked him off balance, leaving him a defense of 1. He's very wide open to being hit. Would you like to spend any glory to add extra damage? If you want to judge how much 1 or 2 points is, they're going to have wounds comparable to what you guys have. Sorry, James, I talked over you. What are you thinking? I think he asked what you think, Ignatius.
Yep, exactly.
Go for it. I don't want to die. Hit him as hard as we can, as fast as we can, I think.
Let's use 1 glory then and give him another wound.
Okay.
Yeah, like
That's all, isn't it?
It's the one with the smaller red bar. You've gone right through the shock and directly to the wounds. Then it is my turn to go with someone, unless, Ignatius, you'd like to spend glory to go next.
We'll do that.
Do it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Try and smack this guy down before he gets us.
So I guess I'll shoot with my pistol.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, yeah. Just make sure I'm doing this right. Attack. Oh, that's a horrible roll.
Oh, it's a complication.
God dang it, my gun is jammed.
Okay.
I couldn't get it out of my holster.
Jeff, I know you are a fan of random elements, and there is a combat complication table. Give us a D66 roll. Let's see what happens.
A D66?
Yeah, you should be able to find it on the first page of your character sheet. There is a D.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I did see that there. Oh, this one.
35.
Yeah.
Ooh. You drop your weapon. In your haste to get it up and fire, you drop your weapon. It is a simple action to recover it, though. So you could scramble and try and grab it.
I mean, I do think I would scramble and try and get it.
Okay. Now, here's the thing, too. If you dropped it, then there's not really much you can do. Normally, you can spend Wrath to still re-roll your attack. Even if you failed, you can re-roll it. You re-roll the other dice that weren't there, but you dropped the weapon, so it's not really an option here.
No.
All right, so then it is the Gene Stealer's turn. So the one who's staggered is going to try and recover. He will aim his auto pistol at Desura, because you shot him. And what is your defense, Desura?
My defense is... We so needed Gene Stealers.
Is it 3 or 2? Should be on, I think, your combat page.
To open.
Oh,
yeah, it's just... I don't know why.
Let's see here.
My
your defense is a 2.
machine is running so slow.
But your resilience is a 4.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, defense 2.
Okay,
yep.
So then it hits and does 2 extra successes. So that'll be 7 plus 3 dice. That is 8 points of damage, which goes... you have a resilience of 4, and then what you can do is spend a point of wrath to try and take it as shock instead of actual wounds. The way that you do that is by using... where is it here? It's on the combat sheet. I want to say determination, but I don't know if that's right. Determination, you can roll whenever you suffer 1 or more. Yeah, holy fuck. I'm remembering more about this game than I thought, guys. So what you roll determination if you want to spend a... Wait, hold on. Spend a point of... you can automatically, if you're certain characters, not into your like just average Joe enemies can do this, but you can automatically use determination, make a determination roll, and which is a number of dice equal to your toughness. Each icon you roll reduces the number of wounds you suffer by 1 and causes you to suffer it as shock instead. Again, every other game calls this a soak roll, so I don't know why the fuck they chose to call it determination, but why break with the trend of renaming everything's? You should call this reinventing the wheel of the RPG. So, Desura, would you give us I'm assuming you're going to do this. I think we can assume anytime you guys are hit, you're always going to try and just take it as shock instead. Shock is easier to get back because you can spend a point of wrath and automatically get back your rank plus your tier, which would be 3 points. So go ahead and give us a toughness check there, Disorder. There might be a determination button on your character sheet too.
Okay, it's toughness. So
yeah, you're only resisting. There's 4 points I got through. Nice. Holy shit! 5! Incredible. Wow. So you take that all as shock instead. So you take 4 points of shock to your blue bar, Disorder. I guess you had some forewarning when you see this thing bring up its gun and it starts firing off at you. And then...
yeah, and I get it. I've got a... And I got a whatever...
Exalted Icon, yeah.
Bonus die as well.
Yeah, and unfortunately, like, you need... well, it's your choice. You could actually take 2... You can decide to shift that if you choose to. The critical on your wrath dice doesn't do... Oh, anytime you roll a critical on your wrath dice, you automatically get 1 more glory. So your glory will be... The pool will be 3 now. So I can adjust that for you guys. Your current pool is 3. There you go. All right. And... Did you re-roll something at some point, Disorder? I don't think so, right? Because your wrath should be 2, and I've also totally forgot to give you guys... Why don't you each take 1 more point of wrath? Because we've been playing for quite a while now.
Okay, I'm getting confused. Now, when I did the extra piece of damage to the Gene Steel, didn't I use some glory?
You used 1, but you also generated 1. You guys had 2, and because you rolled anytime you roll a Exalted Icon on the Wrath dice, you automatically get a point of glory. And which is what you're getting now.
Oh, okay.
That's what it actually says. Look, there's a reminder on that. See where it says glory?
Cool.
Right there. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the other one was a little explodey thing, so it gives for a critical hit. That's clever. All right, so you were hit. Then it is so that's the end of that one's turn. Then the other is going to race forward, snarls, casting back its robe. It's vicious. This one seems to have an utterly inhuman claw at the end of its 3rd arm, and it is racing forward, a brutal-looking saber in hand. It has a speed of 6, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ooh, it can get racing down the stairs. You can picture it gets to the top of the stairs. It leaps up and down towards you. Ignatius, what's your defense?
Sorry, my defense. It's on the combat tab. Is 2.
Is 2 as well. Okay, so then. Here we go. Yeah. That is so 2 to get the defense. Oh, I got a complication. Would you give us a D66 roll, please? 46. Oof. This thing strikes at you, but when it hits, its claws are like stuck to your fabric. So it's kind of trying to get its arm back so it can attack once again. Got 2 excess, so the damage is going to be... Oh my goodness. What is your resilience?
7.
7. That's good.
Wow.
And it has rending. Oof. I didn't shift any results. These claws are designed to go through armor. But thing hits you. That is 13 points of damage, which is reduced to 6 by your resilience.
Yeah.
And then would you like, give us a toughness roll. Let's see how much of that you can shift into being shock. Remember, you can spend a point of wrath to recover 3 points of shock at any point. You don't need to spend an action doing that. Oh, a complication.
Come on. That's 2 in a row.
So there's nothing.
So I take 6 damage.
So you take 6 wounds, and which means you are out of wounds right now. Let's see what that does.
Where's the wounds thing?
Oh, hold on. What can you... Remember, you can spend glory to add dice. And you can, I believe you can do that after you see the results. Let me take a look here.
Oh, because I could roll another dice.
Yeah, like you could try and get that so you're not taking all of your wounds. Glory.
Oh, here. Right. Right, I have 6 wounds. I see it now, yeah.
You can only do this after the initial roll and any re-rolls of fail. Oh, yeah, you got Wrath, too. Do you want to re-roll? I mean, you got 1 point, but what else are you doing with your Wrath? I guess trying to recover shock afterwards, but... Glory is always spent after you see the results. You cannot re-roll it.
It says I have 3 Wrath.
Yeah, you have 3 right now.
Okay, so yeah, so if I spend a Wrath, what does it do?
You can hit re-roll. It'll re-roll all the non-successes.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
And it's only 1 dice.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's both.
No, it's only 1 because you can't get rid of that. That's why you hit the re-roll, because it'll keep the exalted icons.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, nothing.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, so then you do have a complication. Fortunately, there's nothing that comes from that. Maybe his claw gets free from your stuff. But you could spend glory now on a 1-for-1 to roll extra dice. And try. I
might as well spend 1. I just have to like stop 1 wound to like still be standing. Right?
Let me tell you what happens when you run out of wounds.
Wounds? We have 3, right? Glory.
3 glory right now. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's spend 1. I might as well try 1 dice. So what? Just roll 1d6 then. Whoops.
If you were suffered entering wounds, you were wounded, which is +1 difficulty to all tests. If you suffer more wounds than your maximum wounds, you are dying. So you're not going to be dying yet. You're just about to get really badly injured. And then just roll however many dice you've got. So I think you said 1 you're rolling?
Yeah, I spend 1 glory.
Yeah, and I think on the first page at the top, there is a glory button as well.
On the first page.
I thought I saw that. Maybe
so many things. Corruption.
Let's see here.
Or maybe it's on combat.
Oh,
yeah, glory. Yeah, there it is.
Glory. There we go. Awesome.
Come on. Oh, it rolled 1. Oh, sorry, I forgot to do this.
Yeah.
Number of
0.
glory.
There we go.
Hold on.
There's 1, and it's an exalted. No, it's a regular icon. Dang it.
Yeah.
So reduces it by 1, which means you take 5 shock, and no, you take 5 wounds and 1 shock. What's the Hail Mary thing you do to save yourself from that last attack?
I think it's just like it's sort of like instinct, and I think he just at the last second, sort of gets his arm in there and takes the brunt of the damage or the end of it sort of across his arm. It's not wonderful, but I'm standing.
Yep. That is the end of the round. So top of the round, one of you guys gets to go. Who would like to go?
I don't know. Maybe I should go before I'm dead.
You can also remember keep the initiative by spending 1 glory.
Right.
But you go first, Ignatius, anyway.
Yeah, so he's right close now. Maybe I should hit him with my power sword.
Okay, so a simple action to activate your power sword.
Yep, here we go.
And his defense is a 3.
Okay, come on, game. Let's like not just make every roll a toilet. Yes.
There's your 3. So that is a hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
Okay, come on, damage. Let's hit him hard back. Oh, 1.
Fortunately, your AP is 3, which is going to carve through the substantial armor they have, and that is 8 points of damage. See, the number you're rolling, each thing has a set damage, and then it has extra. Some of them have like default numbers of dice you extra roll. You also get to roll extra dice depending on how many successes over your hit you got, and you can spend glory. But let me show you where you are. You don't spend glory until you see the results of your actions. This guy cannot soak. So then this is a... Let's see here. This is something, it's a non-sequitur, but this is something I really love about it too. Because each adversary is rated on each of the 4 tiers, it depends on what tier that monster is. It might be able to use determination to soak things. So like, one of these things is a terrifying fucking adversary for a group of rank 1 or tier 1 characters. But for you guys, these guys are not as scary, notwithstanding my last attack roll. So they don't get to soak. They're treated more like, you know, chumps. So I think that's a really clever way of like kind of future-proofing these monsters for continued use in the campaign.
Right.
Or in the game in general, I guess.
Ignatius, quick question.
Yeah.
Ignatius, quick question. Do you find them scary?
I find them terrifying.
I'm scary.
Yeah, terrifying.
All right, so then that is 8 points. He only gets 5. That is 3. Look at this. Wow. They are wounded now too, so they have -1, +1 to their difficulty numbers. Each of them are injured, which means you guys are going to be harder to hit. Actually, Desura, you can give yourself back 1 point of shock because I forgot to reduce my dice pool when I rolled. So, Ignatius, what does it look like as you, this guy claws you, pulls it out, and you, yeah!
I mean, I think this is a swipe right at those vicious claws. I'm trying to sort of like, you know, hurt him with his weapon, so...
Yeah. Okay. Then you could spend a point of glory to keep initiative, or does it go to me?
Let's...
Yeah.
Point of glory.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm going to drop my
should.
last pistol and grasping my force stave, I'll step forward and smack the one next to
Go right ahead.
Ignatius. So let's give that
So
a go.
it's a 3. Oh, hold on. I wonder if there's outnumbering. You might actually get +1 to your dice pool. Let's see here. Go ahead and add +1 to your dice pool.
So what do I do? Roll a 1d6.
I think so.
guess
On
it's the
your
other way
sheet,
around.
there should be there should be an option to add bonus. It's you kind of have to with this sheet at least. It doesn't prompt you for modifiers. You have to add it in manually. So where it says a mod.
Well, I had an add. I did have a. Oh, that's a mod is attack.
Yeah, so one is the attack bonus dice, which comes from like default stuff. The attack modifier is the situational. Oh no, I'm wrong.
Oh, okay.
A modifier applied to each dice in the attack roll. So how the heck do you? Maybe it's just roll. Oh, maybe it's just number of dice at the top there. I don't know. There's probably an easier way to do this,
Yeah, I
but
guess I can roll it. So I can roll I'll just roll a dice.
okay.
using
Holy smokes! So complication, but okay, no success from that. All right, so where you are right now is with 5, which means you could shift one of those. You got a complication, but you could also shift your exalted icon to do something, or you can count it towards successes, which means you roll 2 extra dice with damage.
I'll do the 2 extra dice with damage. Huh?
Okay. And give us a D66 roll too, please.
D66.
3. Ugh. You're going to need to roll a tech, something. You hit this guy so hard. Let's do the results first, and then we'll tell you what the complication is. Go ahead and roll damage, and you're going to want to roll two extra dice on damage.
Doing that. Let's go for it.
There we go. So that is nice. So 10 points of damage. Ignoring
now,
1 point.
I can use Wrath to re-roll some of those dice.
Wrath can re-roll. Let's see here. I know it can re-roll checks. Let's see. You can spend glory. No, it's spend to re. Oh yeah, you must be able to reroll failures. The dice is there. It means you're only rerolling 1 dice.
Am I? Oh, I got 1 exalted and.
Right, but you don't re-roll the exalted one. It means that there's only the 1 dice that did not. What the hell am I talking about? You got 3 extra. Yeah, absolutely, James. If you want to spend 3. A wrath, you can hit re-roll and see what those 3 extra dice come up with. Oh no, nothing extra. Okay.
Oh well.
So that is. But you can also spend. You have 2 points of glory left. You can 1 point of glory because you spent it to take the initiative. You could spend that to do damage.
Point, yeah.
Here's what he's taking right now: is 10. With your AR, he takes 4 points of damage. That is enough to kill him. What does it look like?
Yes! Bring that down, and then sparks coming off the force-save. Psychic crackles as I cave his skull. And...
Yeah! He hits the ground. Now here's where the complication occurs. Is you hit him so hard... It powers down. You will need a difficulty 2 tech roll to get it active again.
Ooh.
So interesting.
Then it is this thing's turn. It is going to run for cover, and then it is going to blast at Desura once again. That was its target before. I'm losing. I have a difficulty of 3 now. And my ranged is not as good. Here we go. Yeah. 3. I just barely managed to hit. And it does... Your resilience is a 4, right?
My resilience is a 4, yeah.
4, yeah, okay. So that is 7 points of damage, which means you'll take 3, and you can give us a toughness check. Let's see how much of that is shock.
I'll do that. See, where's my toughness? I did find a button for it. So let me just...
Oh, awesome.
There is a button. Where's my button? I think it's in combat. There it is. Looking for... Oh, it's determination, right? Yeah, determination.
Yeah, determination is the...
Here we go. Determination roll.
The roll. Nice roll! So of the 3 points of damage, once again, it's all shock. And at any point, you can spend wrath to recover 3 points of wrath. 3 points of shock. Either of you guys. Also, last half hour of the game, each gets a wrath point. Then, it's the end of the turn. Who is going first?
No, I'm just... Ignatius, you'll need to, because I've got to go and run and find a headphone.
Hey. I'll He's running away.
Yeah.
I have no problem shooting him in the back.
He took cover, actually. He's hiding behind one of those giant statues. And
he's hiding.
Yeah, he just fired at Desura once again. Oh, and
so...
Here,
Can I can move and shoot... Oh, how far can I move?
You move your speed, which I usually run a 6.
Speed 6.
I actually don't know what yours is.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, it is 6.
It is 6? Okay.
Okay. And does that include diagonals or no?
Diagonals count as 1.
Okay. Oh, I'm 1 square away if I move 6.
Okay.
Uh...
So let's talk about running. The way, because there are a ton of combat options in this game. And let's see here. Charge, you can charge a target as a full round action. When you make a charge, move up to double your speed and make a melee attack with +1 bonus dice. There's no downside to it.
That sounds perfect.
Okay.
I charge him. Foolishly, maybe, but I do.
Bravely. Aquati!
Bravely. So how do I add... Oh, is that what this Is this bonus dice?
No,
yes.
Those are...
Yeah, there's a little up-down thing before you roll.
Oh! Okay.
For the column that says ADD, bonus dice applied to the attack roll. So...
Oh, yes. Yeah.
So that when I roll my attack, it should already do 1 extra.
Okay.
Come on.
Let's see here. That's 3. That's what you needed to hit. And you got a crit.
Yes.
Because your exalted icon was on the thing. Give us a D66 roll.
Okay, come on.
64. Appalling detonation. Target suffers 1d6 wounds. Any explosives detonate, inflicting 1d3 mortal wounds. Mortal wounds cannot be soaked, is the difference. So the let's see here. Your damage. Go ahead and roll damage. And you've got nothing actually. Go ahead and roll damage.
Okay.
And give us a 1d6 roll, please. So that is 9 minus his 4. What's it look like? Holy shit, that's a lot of damage.
Yeah.
James, can you hear us?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
We can, yeah, and you're clear too. Then before, go
That's
ahead.
the old wired thing, right?
Nice, all dependable. Then why don't you tell Desura what Ignatius just did?
Yeah, I mean, this is his MO lately. Just like almost pure panic and fear of his own mortal life. He charges in, power sword in hand, and sort of like turns the corner around this statue and just probably like virtually slices him in half. It's one of those like blows down through the shoulder blade deep into the chest.
Yeah.
Especially with this weird 3-armed thing.
Yeah, and
So
then...
Ignatius. This vile Xenos creature.
Yes.
What is amiss here?
I don't know. This is very strange. Who would invite someone to their home to give them a gift and then attempt to murder them? Can I look through these things and see?
Yeah, because these are not.
By the way, Ignatius, is that something you've learned from your cousin?
Would you
All
give
this
us
power sword play?
Yes.
You guys can each give us a scholar check, and this will be a. Let's see here. I think a 3.
Okay.
Fantastic. 2
Nice.
exalted icons. So Ignatius, this is something that you would would be aware of, perhaps most likely in connection with the tales of space hulks. One of the reasons why... Nice. So you're one shot. You want to spend a point of wrath there, Desura? Reroll the non-successes?
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
So you got a success, but you got a complication
Not
too.
entirely.
So I think what we'll say is that
I think gene stealers are harmless.
well, here's what. So the complication I think will just be because you both know precisely what this is. James, I'm assuming, knows what a gene stealer is because he's familiar with 40K stuff. But Jeff, do you know what a gene stealer is?
No idea. No.
So it is one of the more terrifying creatures that can be found in the 40K universe, and that is really saying something. I'm resisting the Warhammer 40K historical digression thing, so I want you to appreciate what restraint I'm showing here. What your character would know is that these things are basically a infectious strain of creature. Think of all the worst qualities of the xenomorph from Alien or the Aliens franchise, with the hiding and terrible claws and fast moving and adapting and taking on the elements of its parent species while still expressing the same qualities. They're called gene stealers because they steal the genes of something they infect. There are also cultists who gather around basically a psychic who leads these cults, and they can be hidden on a ton of different planets. But the terrifying thing about them, while having a Xenos cult active on your planet is bad, what is worse is that they serve as beacons for a massive swarm of another Xenos species called the Tyranids. Imagine an organism the size of an invading fleet that will show up, disgorge all these biological horrors to strip a planet clean of any useful material, biological or otherwise, absorb it back into the fleet, and then go. They call them the Shadow in the Warp, and what the Gene Stealers serve as is to ring the dinner bell for the Tyranid fleets.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, it is a civilization-ending, world-killing threat. For that reason, Gene Stealers are generally sought out as often as they can and absolutely fucking exterminated.
Makes sense.
So,
Okay.
Tyranids don't leave anything biological left on the planet.
they
It's
absorb
rock.
everything on a planet. They leave a dead rock behind after their hive fleets move on. So,
Wow. Yeah.
never let it be said that they do things halfway in the 40K universe. So, with this thing on the ground, what you can see, these things have adopted some of the qualities of what are known as pure strain gene stealers, things that have a very specific kind of physiological expression. These are well on their way towards that thing, but definitely still share a lot of human characteristics. At some point, these things were likely humans. They have betrayed their species for a Xenos cultist, and that psychic influence you may have felt earlier, Desura. Do you have any inferences about that?
So, we need to find the psychic that is at the root of this. And we also need to get some help. But with the ship gone,
Well, yeah, I'm more concerned about how the hell we're getting off this planet.
this planet needs wiped. This is where we need the Inquisition. Ignatius. This is beyond our power.
Yeah.
What you would both know is, as well, the Gene Stealer threat, or at least the Tyranid threat, the threat that comes in, the Coronis Expanse is not known to have a hive fleet in it. Other parts of the galaxy do, and these are definable things. You can see a path as the thing moves its way through the galaxy, absolutely annihilating entire systems worth of planets and living organisms. There is not a presence that you're aware of this particular threat in the Coronis Expanse, which means if these things set foot in here, they may call them here. So this is a peril not just for you guys and for this. It is a peril that may affect the entire expanse itself.
Whoa.
This is not good.
Okay.
That's what I mean. I think that is what we need now, is some serious support from something like the Inquisition.
Yeah.
But how? How do we do this?
Well, and notably, officially, the Ecclesiarchy, at least the Inquisition, and the other more formal apparatus of the Imperial State aren't present in here. Battlefleet Calixus doesn't have an official presence here. The Adeptus Astartes don't have an official presence in Coronis Expanse. This is a, as it were, undefended frontier as far as the Imperium is concerned. This would all be well known to you guys, so you would be aware of this. And you look at those doors, and you realize as well, Ignatius, while the doors are absolutely... Desura, would you like to give us a tech roll? Try and get your staff functioning again. You certainly have time now.
Yep. Let me...
You can get +1. Since this is your focus, you can get +1 bonus dice to this roll.
Too late. Clicked on it. Let's see.
There we
My
go.
laggy thing.
So 2 successes.
Well,
That's all you needed.
roll.
It's back up and working again. I'm going to bank that complication. The complications are, it's a fun mechanic. It's a fun idea in it too. With this many players coming and 16% chance of it coming up, it does seem a little, a little
it does happen a
overly.
lot, doesn't it?
I would definitely, if I was to start exploring house rules, that might be something I might, although, hold on, you know what, it may already have been thought of. Let me see if I can bank Ruin with it, the way you can with Threat or Heat or Doom in the D20, the 2D20 games. Ruin is my equivalent narrative metacurrency. I get to do things like let things soak when they can normally, or let things use determination when they cannot normally get them. So I gain a Ruin when you fail a corruption test, when you fail a fear test, or when I roll a 1 on the Wrath dice. What I might rule is that we can if there's not an obvious complication, that I might take that as a Ruin instead, and ignore my that I get it on a 6.
Okie dokie.
So,
Yep.
you get this thing active once again. You're going to want to get the, whoever the explorator that you would have back at, or maybe you should hire an explorator in order to salvage this thing or maintain this thing.
Yeah, I'm going to have words.
Yeah.
Bloody Aquari cheapskates on the maintenance.
So then,
Yeah.
what I was saying, sorry, is that the door that you see before you, there's a tech inference from this, is why it made me think of Desura's option. This thing serves as two functions, it seems. One, it serves as a beautiful and very, well, I mean, beautiful in a very gothic and, macabre kind of way depiction of the Imperial faith. The other thing is this is likely the first line of defense for those coming through these things, so it may be a secure door. But with those two dead, the lights go out in here, and what you guys can see around you, the reason you can see the darkness in here is because of lights that I believe you were carrying. Yes, that you guys are carrying. I'm assuming each of you has a torch of some kind. Now, let's quickly, before... Well, actually, you guys here, talk amongst yourselves. You are aware now of what the consequence of finding these hybrid gene stealers here. Ignatius, what's going through your mind?
We still need to go get this silly bone. It's what's going through his mind right now. Like, obviously we're getting off planet. We gotta find a ship. We gotta, there's a big long checklist, but like the top of the thing is like, do we still go find this thigh bone or what? He's confused.
I think just getting our butt off seems like a good idea. Because I think whatever these monks were doing, something has gone awry. So I think thigh bones are the least of our problems. Out of character. Tyranids, I hate the bloody things. Horrid.
Yeah, they're fucking awful. Remember the game we were talking about before we went live about how hard Space Hulk is, Jeff? It's because you fight gene sealers in that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the Space Marines, which are already genetically engineered kind of super soldier type things, they're equipped with the heaviest personal armor that they can be, absent a kind of quasi mecha thing called Terminator armor. So they're genetic super soldiers, or genetically engineered super soldiers with the most advanced armor and weaponry that they can have access to, and still a fucking losing prospect. In fairness, those are pure strain.
These guys are bad. Run!
Yeah.
But these are cultists, though. So if there are pure strain gene stealers here, you're fucked. Those are terrifying things individually. Their claws are so powerful they can tear apart power armor. But what's here, at least what you've encountered so far, are hybrids, and there are all sorts of different states of transformation that cultists can go through as they give up their bodies willingly to serve this Xenos murder cult.
Right. Well,
So, in brief, let's forget the hip or thigh or whatever bit of the body it was.
yeah. I understand your hesitation, but if we see it, I'm taking it.
Okay, let's grab it as we run past.
Yes.
So I'm just... Yeah, so here's a looking for recovery. A regroup is a short period of downtime lasting approximately an hour. If you have a Medicae rating, you can heal a single character during regroup. They regain wounds equal to your Medicae dice pool. That's kind of cool that you automatically get it back instead of having to roll and be like, fuck me, I got nothing out of this. While still tying it to like actual healing skill. Do either of you have training in Medicae?
You'll be amazed to hear, but no.
Okay.
No.
What I'm less clear on, I'm just trying to see if you get your shock. The only way to get back is spending wrath, it seems. You can, and it does take a combat action to do that. You literally have to kind of catch your breath. So, what is the plan here, guys? It seems as if Naglfar has gone off to Valhalla itself. It seems clear what the threat is here. And let me ask you this. Do you think that... Well, I guess there is a question of whether the captain was on board the Naglfar or not. He did say he was loading things. Or unloading things, I should say.
So let us see if we can recover him.
But he
Perhaps
mentioned that there was
not lost.
light. He thought he saw something strange in the solarium.
Oh. Yes. Excuse me.
So what?
Maybe we should go check out the solarium.
Indeed. Good idea.
I mean, yeah. We need to find a ship, so...
Yep, so it's not going to be back where we were. So indeed, let's head to the solarium then.
With what you have here, guys, you got enough wrath. What I'm unclear of is whether you get all your shock back at the end of a fight, or whether you have to spend your wrath to do it. Because the thing is, if you're starting each session with 2 points of wrath, why would you not just spend whatever wrath you got left over to get your shock up? I'm not clear if that's the rules acting as intended, because shock is obviously a really important component, like important resource to draw on, or whether it's just it's intended to act in a different way. Why don't we do this? Why don't you?
How much?
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, so how about if you spend a point of wrath? How much shock do you get back?
Your rank plus your tier. So your rank is 1. But I think your tier is 2, isn't it?
2, yep.
So you get three points back from each other. So you get 6 back to Sura, and you get all yours back. I can see why, like, because of the way that shock works in it, I can see why you would want that to be up. And the way the healing mechanics work on a short rest, with your dice pool providing the amount of recovery automatically, like not half of it, your full dice pool, which is probably going to be, if you're skilled in it, between 6 and 10. That also suggests that you're intended to go into each fight with, an ability to weather some hits. That's part of the tension, it seems, in the combat. So, as we end our session, why don't you go ahead and fill your shock, your blue bars up once again, because both of you are able to do that. And where is it you're heading? You know there is some psychic ability that's manifesting here to Sura, so you could... actually, as a last effort, use Deny the Witch to try and shut down whatever is active here. It could very well be that someone is spying on you.
Right, why not? Let's give that one a go. Bear with me, where's my character sheet gone? Just getting my shock back.
Okay, and then I'll tell you what Deny the Witch.
Deny the Witch. Let's go down. Here we go.
The difficulty is
this
2
is
plus the
power I'm trying to deny.
Yeah, so it's 2 plus the target number or whatever, and it would be, let's see here. Prescience. Scryer's Gaze. Oof. So this is a difficulty 8.
Well, that should be a walk in the park. Let's give it a go.
Yeah.
You got this.
Look at that!
Yes!
Holy
She
shit!
shoots. She scores.
Oh, man.
Unbelievable.
So what do we see as Desura forces this psychic away?
Oh yeah, you just see, Ignacio, you see ice plastering the walls of this hall.
So now you
We're
can
free
make
now.
Nice. They are no
Amazing.
longer watching. Oh yeah, and you know, one of your triumphs, there would also be one more glory back in the pool because you rolled on the exalted icon on the wrath dice.
Cool.
Amazing.
So, and let's just hold on here. I don't think you can heal with glory.
That's a really good note to end on after getting pretty thrashed by those guys.
Well, you were fighting at disadvantage, though. You didn't have cover. You were fighting well in the open. They got to fight using the weapons that they seemed to favor. And you didn't seize initiative right away, either. Seize initiative, increase critical hit. Add 1 damage, add 1 dice to a test. Yeah, no, nothing else comes from that. But yes, awesome. All right. Then that brings us to the end of our session. Once again, I told the guys from the outset, like, okay, we're going to jump right in and get right to things and whatnot. We cannot help but try and roleplay these characters. That was pretty cool. I'm definitely looking forward to. I think this is not the last we see of our heroes here. Hopefully, our stalwart psychics. I will say, because you were mentioning it before too, how does it feel playing a psyker in this game, James?
Oh, it's far more capable. Yeah, it's far more capable. Because you see that, because I knew when you said, "Oh, it's an 8," I still knew I had 10 dice.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
Suddenly you're thinking that's tough, but
when those exalted icons,
you know, it's much more capable.
And Ignatius, you definitely did not.
It's
Nice. Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know what we that was a impressive display of martial acumen there, Ignatius. I'm sorry that you guys are stuck in a monastery full of. Then for those, what did you guys, before we do the outro, what did you guys think of the shock mechanic of rolling determination each round to try and convert some of the stuff over into shock as opposed to taking wounds?
Yeah, I like that. I like the idea of staying on your feet.
Yep.
I don't know.
It's good. It's good.
It seems like you're not, because the game does roll damage as well, so it does add one extra step to it, but in particular because we're using character sheet, doesn't feel like it's sometimes when I'm not sure how many games you guys have played that have a soak mechanic, like certain versions of Shadowrun or the World of Darkness games, but soak can sometimes be like someone can get an amazing fucking roll and get a good hit, and then someone will roll a really great soak and they take no damage from it. So
right,
it's not quite the same, but it's similar to the thing of like I get an awesome attack roll and then they get a good parry, so I do nothing from it and nothing changes in it. This is interesting because it like the impact of the hit is still there. It's just that it's an opportunity to shift it into something that is a little easier to in the instance to recover from.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, the thing that just makes the damage disappear completely is a nightmare, because you just end up with this, you finally land that hit.
Yeah.
And then it does nothing.
Yeah.
It's just deeply frustrating.
100% agree. Yeah. It's the soak mechanics. It's why I was curious to see it at play here, but it was, it's interesting, like with the position that Ignatius is in right now, like you need to find some fucking medical attention.
Yeah.
Because you're just prone to injury right now. Does Desura have any powers that increase her defenses or anything like that?
No.
No? Okay. So...
No, I can dumb down groups and, confuse them and things like that, but there's nothing... So
okay.
I can So what we need is that if we don't have a full crew for for Rogue Trader, then if we get another, then we need a Medicaid.
Absolutely.
And we find this Medicaid hiding in the monastery.
Exactly. They stowed away on board. They couldn't leave you guys behind. Awesome. Well then, for those listening at home, thank you so much for joining us for a shorter session of Hands of the House, the war story we're playing for our Rogue Trader campaign. Apologies again. I had to look up a lot of rules, and we were kind of fumbling our way through how some of this works. But that's that is, I think, the way. I don't know. I'm enjoying learning this game through this. There's some unexpected things about this that are playing at the table different to how I had them in my head. I also will try, guys. Will it be helpful to have? I mean, this is a stupid question, but I'm going to see if I can find. I think I have an electronic version of the GM screen, and I'll pull out some of the stuff as handouts. Like maybe the critical hits, so you can roll them yourself and narrate it yourself. The combat complications and weapon traits and combat options, because that is this has about a little less, but around the same amount of options as like Savage Worlds. And I find that having that list on the character sheet is just it prompts the players to take advantage of those things, like your charge, like aiming, like taking cover. That would help, because especially knowing how much the target number to hit you can really only affect it by doing things that make you harder to hit. That might help soften the blow for those of you who have a difficulty 2, or a 2 defense, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
So awesome. Then anyway, we'll be back in the Cronus Expanse one way or another in 2 weeks. But until then, we hope that we gave you a few hours to take your mind off the troubles of our world and think about the troubles that our heroes. Hold on, I got a whole bunch of outro that I completely skipped there. So let's start at the beginning. So as is always the case, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns regarding the session, the campaign, or the game we're playing, please don't hesitate to leave a comment in the comment section down below, and I'll endeavor to reply in a timely fashion. In addition, there is a link in the description of the video to the Dungeon Musings Discord server, where all of us are active, and we have channels there dedicated to this game. We have channels there dedicated to all the Warhammer role-playing games we run on the channel. I don't think we have one for the Rogue Trader campaign, do we? Maybe we do. I don't think. I don't know. We have channels dedicated for most of the campaigns and most of the games we run regularly on the channel, as well as a bunch of other channels like Finding a Group or DM Discussion, or just a bunch of great people who have joined the community over the years, and you are more than welcome to join us over there. There is also a link down below to our friends at Noble Knight Games. Noble Knight Games is the preeminent unionized retailer of hard-to-find and out-of-print RPGs in North America. And if you make a purchase through their website of $10 or more, be sure to enter the code MuserWinter at checkout, and you will save yourself 10% in your purchase. However, at present, for the next, I believe, month, they're having their winter sale, and the winter sale has deals that are better than the 10% discount. So if there is some hard-to-find and out-of-print RPG that you are looking for, head on over to the Noble Knight site. There's a link down below, and you may be enjoying even greater of a savings than you normally would with our discount code. There's also a link down below to something called Heroes Save Villages, which is the charity fundraising campaign that we run on the channel. Benefits the SOS Children's Villages International Charity, a really incredible organization active in over 130 countries, benefiting over 80,000 orphaned and abandoned children, including ongoing relief efforts in a bunch of crisis areas. You can learn all about that by following that link, and you can make donations through that link, all of which go directly to the folks who benefit from the services, the kids who benefit. None of it goes to the channel or any other middleman. The last thing I will say is an enormous thank you to James and Jeff for joining me back in the Cronus Expanse for yet another session of Wrath and Glory. I will say, I only got like 3 hours of sleep last night on kind of having something work that was work related and then early up, so I've been a little brain dead for this whole thing. Our late start was because we were kind of bullshitting before we got going, but as soon as we got playing this and you guys got into character, I was immediately fixed back on it. So thank you very much for making such a fun session for me to run. We will be back.
Thank you.
In 2 weeks' time, but until then, again, we hope that we gave you a few hours, take your mind off the troubles of our world, and see what some other explorers in the Acronis Expanse have been dealing with. And until we see you again, stay safe, stay healthy, and happy gaming.